One of Saberspark's accusers, Brony Fandont, the original poster of the thread on Twitter that got millions of views, had an emotional breakdown on the site and subsequently on Livestream after Saberspark released his response video. In the thread, he accuses ILoveKPaLot of harassing the victim, also claiming that the victim will soon come out with their identity, revealing more information, before succumbing to a lot of the negative responses, crashing out on the website. This then resulted in him going live, walking around his city while crying, and even at some points threatening things. Even replying to people on Blue Sky saying, quote, "When I'm dead, I want this post to be cited." Naturally, people responded to all of this, like on the Saberspark subreddit, people were in shock, with others saying that they can't really feel bad for the guy. And MrEnter also put out a document about all the recent events, saying that he didn't really like Saberspark's response, and that he himself has also been in direct contact with the victim, and he will be also making a video going over everything. Welcome to the internet versus Brony Fandont's Fallout. It starts when Brony tweets out, "I'm sorry. I was promised things would happen a certain way, and they didn't. They still aren't. I'm going to explain as much as I possibly can without exposing the victim. They will be coming forward. I just don't know when anymore." The night before Saberspark posted his response video, ILoveKPaLot threatened the victim with a voice memo over Discord. Afterwards, me and the victim got in a call and planned for what to do about it. The plan was for her to come forward yesterday. Twitter will not let me upload this video no matter what I try, so it's on the better site. Then he attaches a link to Blue Sky with this 2-minute audio clip of KP attached. This is KP to the anonymous victim.
From my understanding, you shared a Dropbox file with Lazy, and your fucking name was on it. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's direct confirmation. So I'm at the point where my reputation is on the line because of you, and I feel like an idiot because of you. And you can help me clean up this mess and get in a call and tell your side of the story, or this is going to blow up in your face, because people have already figured out it's you based on that mistake. And I'm fucking tired, because the things that have been pointed out to me is that you have your own platform. You know, people, you knew going in that people were going to figure it out. Maybe not this quickly, maybe not by your own mistake, but they did. And you can be an adult and help me clean up this mess, or you can be a coward. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not telling you what to do, but you have put you've put people that are in the video in a very difficult and dangerous position. And I don't think you really understand that. And so I'm at the point where I talked to this guy Beckett, and he says that you have the chance right now to tell your side of the story in a call with me or with Lazy or with him or with someone, or people are going to villainize you. And that's where we're at. And none of like the things that have been pointed out to me doesn't make any sense. The timeline is questionable. The only people that vouched for you were Brony and Amy and Sophie, and Amy won't even fucking talk to me. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm being real with you. It's fucked. You're fucked one way or the other. So make a decision soon, or I will publicly confirm it was you. You have 24 hours.
Back over to Twitter, Brony continues their thread. The context you need to know for this memo is that KP is attempting to threaten and gaslight the victim. She was accused of leaking the victim's identity to parties, possibly for revenge purposes. KP attempts to deflect the blame. Near the end of the video, KP implies the victim's story doesn't add up. She's full of shit. She wants to discredit the victim so she can claim she was used, as though that would make her video make sense. It wouldn't. In response to this, the plan was for her to come forward and present the information she couldn't share without revealing herself before. We didn't know Saber was going to post his video within that time, and it wasn't why plans changed either. Drama YouTuber Lazy Bedhead was in talks with the victim prior to Saber's video. Afterwards, the tone changed. She began telling the victim that the video would actually not paint her in a good light because of things Lazy heard about her. The things she said were not true. Let me reiterate, Lazy Bedhead had the victim there to talk with, and instead of asking her about these separate allegations, she threw them in her face. The victim spent the next few hours proving her innocence instead of posting her story. The victim is not doing well currently. I will be upfront and say, despite how they handled things so far, the victim still wishes to wait and see how the video turns out. After convincing them she really is a victim, I'm not outing them, but I'm also revealing a lot. I don't want to go against their wishes. I've spent the last day talking with them, but everyone thinks I'm lying about our allegations. People are threatening to dox me, kill me. I'm losing friends who don't know the full story. I'm not lying. Neither is the victim. I think her coming forward yesterday, as we said was the plan, would have gone even better due to Saber's response. He didn't talk about his allegations. Bringing forward information immediately after his response that it didn't respond, I think, would have been best. I don't want to see if Lazy makes a good video or not. She's already spread misinformation about me in her last video due to her lack of research, and now she's proven she's not a journalist at all. I don't want her or Courtney, KP, Op, etc. having power. The victim will come forward when she is ready, with what she can provide. If you expect me to expose her identity, you are a fool, but I can't spend more time being the internet's punching bag. I don't know if this will change anything, but doing nothing was killing me. Once the big three are no longer a problem for everyone, I'm stepping away for good. I'm not doing anything for clout. You all suck. Saber said nothing at all, and you wanted my throat. I just wanted consequences. No one who deserves it ever faces consequences. No lies needed. Maybe the internet will actually fucking learn something, and Saber can be the reverse quite. My faith is at an all-time low though. Everyone needs to do better. You're not fucking animals. There are no witches to burn, only disgusting humans to distance from. Knight replies, to be honest, I hope KP does oust you both. You used an essay story to get revenge on some guy you had beef with. Pathetic. And Brony replies, what the fuck are you talking about? And Knight says, gonna say this, but get help. Did you screw up? Yes. Do you need to take accountability? Yes. Do you need to end yourself? Absolutely not. You fucked up. The end. Move forward with life. And quote tweets Brony and says, so now they're throwing Lazy Bedhead, who arguably sounds like the most responsible person in this story, under the bus because of their own continual screw-ups here. Because Lazy didn't want to cover this incredibly toxic story, Brony Fandont is just attacking Lazy. Holy shit, this is worse than I thought. Lord AC replies to Brony by saying, what did you think he would do then? Meaning Saberspark. And how did him posting a video denying the claims throw a wrench in your plan? And Brony says, is anyone actually reading what I write? Silver has glitch, quote tweets Brony and says, you've put others in danger prior, / pissed on real SA survivors, / throwing others under the bus to save your own skin, and you're surprised and horrified with how it's backfired now? But sure, keep acting stupid, abusing the block button, cause that's surely helped you so far. And Brony replies, no I fucking didn't. Owen Harrington replies to Brony's original thread by saying, interesting how you're stating all of this after KP's video got intense backlash and was taken down. And Brony replies, no dumbass, none of this happened until after. It's not a coincidence, it's the passage of fucking time. Rush the Cat replies to Brony by saying, here's the thing, you said nothing at all as well, and wanted people to be at Saber's throat. People willingly defended the victim without proof of said crime. Saber lost support on things. Some fans dropped him. His life, name, brand is no doubt ruined because of this. You got what you wanted. And Brony says, he's an artist. I don't care if his life is ruined. I never asked anyone to have any reaction to him or the accusations at all. I even repeatedly said being cautiously skeptical is entirely fair. I promoted a victim story. It was the right thing to do. Kara Simpson replies to Brony by saying, so you're stepping away despite you having all the evidence in the world to back the claim? In other words, you fucked up and you fucked up big. You deserve everything that's coming. And Brony says, you need reading comprehension. I'm not stepping away until after it's finished. And Kara replies, bit rude telling someone with special needs they need reading comprehension, so you are stepping away then. Thank the lucky stars, because you've done more damage than good. Have fun inside for damages and slander. And Brony replies, you are causing harm with your misinformation. I don't know you. If you cannot properly talk about something this serious for whatever reason, then don't talk about it. And Kara replies, think you better take that for advice, not anyone here. Average Chum Butt replies to Brony by saying, the biggest issue I have is Bonk trying to tell the victim not to go to the police. Bonk being another name that Brony goes by. To trust them with their internet justice sounds like a huge power play. Like Bonk wants the victim to trust them and only them. If there's really something, go to the police. And Brony replies, I never told the victim not to go to the police. Every fucking person hears my words and spits out nonsense. Brony then goes on to make a separate thread where he says, this is what fucking happens when you speak out against you win, everyone. I'll shut up. I'll never do it again. Griffin would be fine if I didn't help. And that's because no one else fucking tried enough. And you'll make sure no one ever does again. Saberspark art a girl. And you're all overjoyed to rip my throat out for him. You defeated me. Congratulations. Lesson learned. There is no good in this world. People would do everything they could to destroy it if there was. Darktail replies, we just don't want to blindly accuse someone of a crime without evidence. People could literally get killed because of that. And Brony replies, You are doing it right fucking now. And Darktail says, I don't even know who you are or what you look like. No one is going after you unless they dox you. Brony then tweets out a Twitch account, Bonk6, and right before he went live, he also was on Blue Sky replying to Sai Scribble saying, look at that, 2 snakes fighting. And then Brony says, when I'm dead, I want this post to be cited. You fucking freak. However, to be completely transparent, this first stream is not super interesting. He doesn't really say much. It's just him walking around for about 25 minutes with the chat berating him or sending messages of support, such as Fluttershy, who says the guilt tripping has to stop, man. Peachline says a lot of people are worried for you. Twisted Metalcore says get off the internet for a while, bro. Ace of Shadow says he always does this. Some big allegations go wrong and he faked S for attention. What a loser, dude. Fua Bunny says if this is seriously fake and you are wanting attention being S-Will, then you are awful as hell. I know many others who are genuinely in a bad spot. S-Will spot even myself, and if this is just for attention, then this is so disgusting. Aries says please don't hurt yourself, especially not for Twitter users. Horrible website that doesn't represent society as a whole. And there's a bunch more that we'll skim over here later in the video when someone posted all to the Saberspark subreddit. But more importantly, after they tried to go live on Twitch, their account was banned, which then resulted in them going live on Twitter. And quick content warning for what's about to be shown in this stream. It is displayed on screen. And on this Twitter live, there's a bit more interaction from Brony. He is walking towards a bridge. You can actually see what's going on outside now. At first, he was just sobbing while walking towards the bridge. And then once he approaches it, he starts telling himself to just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. You need... You can't not do it. You can't not do it. Just fucking do it.
Before the stream cuts out, and then it comes back to him sitting on the ground where he was standing looking over the bridge before and just sobbing to himself.
There's no point in me not doing it. There's nothing to go back to.
And after a little bit of this, you can hear sirens approaching. It's unconfirmed if this was for Brony in particular.
No, I need to.
But regardless if this was a police officer or not, someone does approach Brony and ask him if he needs help before the stream then abruptly ends.
I'm Wade. You need some help?
No.
You want to talk to me?
No.
Why not? What's wrong, man? People are calling about you. I'm here to help. What's your first name? You got a lot of people coming to help you, man.
and then the Twitter post about them being live was deleted, and the Brony Fandont account replies to it by saying, "Bonk is being admitted to the hospital. Thank you everyone who figured out his location and called for help. I've changed the passwords to this account in the meantime to ensure he gets a break from the onslaught of death threats. I've been trying to avoid this Saber situation as it is highly triggering for me, and unlike the BG situation, I don't have a ton of knowledge on it. I want to be able to contribute productive information rather than just yell, so please give the victim time to respond. S. I'm logging out again." Then a throwaway post on the r/Saberspark subreddit, "Be better, don't harass, don't bully. Downvote me to hell all you want, I don't care. But I'm extremely disappointed in Saberspark's fans right now. I had never thought Saberspark had an audience that would be horrendously cruel as to send death threats and wish harm, but I clearly thought too highly of them. Yes, it was unwise of Brony Fandont to send the alleged victim to KP of all people to make a video. And yes, they could have handled the Twitter account much better than they did, but that doesn't mean you go harassing someone to the point of them wanting to end themselves. I cannot even imagine all of the threats sent to their inbox because they did have DMs open. And to anyone who's saying, oh, they're just S-baiting, you're either an a-hole or did not watch the stream. I myself have been S-wol, and I cried watching it because I have been in their position before. It was real. This goes for every person involved in this mess. Don't harass or bully anyone, please." And they attached the tweet saying he's been admitted to a hospital that we already read, along with a tweet from Sophie that says, "For what it's worth, Bonk is so upset because he has more info to share and is getting harassed by people just blindly believing he is lying. He hasn't said more because the victim isn't ready yet. She's been ill from the stress of all of this. Have some grace regardless of your opinion, please." And then at Twitch chat messages from DZ who says, "I don't give a shit if this artard ends themselves over false horse famous celebrity allegations. Sounds like a skill issue." And Ace of Shadow saying, "Good luck having anyone believe you in the future with this shit." And Reaper Rose replying to Aries saying, "And they show no proof either." And Plum saying, "I don't care if they're S-baiting. Bonk really needs someone to get them onto the internet because they're clearly unstable." While Mega says mean, MP Sai says this dude refuses to take a scrap of accountability and S-baits on social media. Frosty Coyote says uncover the camera. Force Smooth says I hope everything will be alright. Ace of Shadow says this guy is just baiting. He's on the sidewalk. He's fine. Orange Jet says the situation was handled terribly, but S is not the answer. And Uwu Step and says no matter what they did, there are people calling for his S. That is never okay. While Mega says attention seeking freako, ruin a man's life, now it's all about you. Then they attach a tweet from Senna Serena that says, imagine having a melty because you couldn't ruin someone's life without evidence. Please don't delete your account when you're out of the hospital. You're the funniest clown on the internet right now. James replies to Brony saying, and stay out. Ugg says, effing artard. Samuel Booker laughs saying, what a loser you are. Good riddance. False accusers and the people who blindly support them deserve all the hate you get. Drink some gas and smoke an effing cigarette. Literally all you had to do was post the proof and you couldn't even do that. Vam says is the reason people applaud karma. Just desserts. I don't feel bad at all. Everyone likes when someone gets what's coming to them. That's you included. Max Mad says you got the audience you wanted so badly. And Mago Tago says fuck you. Another post from Vam saying there's a reason you never hear about people committing S on livestream or filming it. It's a deeply personal act. The only reason he went live was to harbor sympathy and seek attention. Going live isn't something an S person thinks of doing in the midst of ending it. Scooby Doing says I laughed when he got what he deserved. I mocked him when he showed he had no proof. It was funny and it was warranted. A dumb kid threatening to end himself because people with cartoon avatars mocked him is just sad and shows how truly lost a person is. Logan Williams says there's nothing to wait for, little bro. These people are clearly lying and can't take the L. Now they're trying to S-bait to gain sympathy from people. Lily Rose says shut up you artard, go disappear in the woods. Indy Lara saying get fucked poser. Dragul Greg replies dude, it's really hard to feel sorry for someone who tried to paint another as a vicious predator and then proceeded to double down on it when it was proven false. Like of course, no, nobody really wants them dead unless you're chronically online, but you can't just do something like what they did and expect to walk away unscathed. Instead of trying to put themselves away forever, they should consider some inner reflection, to be honest. Electrifying Seer says no one should be harassed like this, but he did incur some wrath onto himself. People are very angry right now because he tried to ruin somebody else's life and livelihood. It's an eye for an eye with this. It's not right to harass him, but it was never right of him to step in and support a liar with no evidence. The punishment here does not fit the crime, as everyone telling him to die and saying slurs is really fucking bad, and I think it would be better if everyone who is angry with him just blocked his account and stopped engaging. Nihility is better than hostility. Midnight Morper says, look, I don't want Bonk to end himself and all that, but frankly, I can't feel sorry for him when he's legitimately screaming with his full chest, Saberspark is a P and you're all protecting a P. I did nothing wrong. MrEnter tweets out, an update on the Saberspark situation. So, in the past week, a lot of stuff has happened in regards to the Saberspark / ILoveKPaLot situation. I wasn't going to say anything ahead of time, but with what has transpired in the previous couple of days, and really among this whole event, I think that it is important to say some things preemptively, and a lot of people are curious about a lot of things, so I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. There are many things I practically can't reveal, and other things I do not yet have the permission to reveal. Yesterday, as I write this, one of the two users who run the Brony Fandont accounts, Bonk, streamed what appeared to be an attempt on their life. First on Twitch, and as the Twitch account was banned, they tried on Twitter. They were found, and according to Sophie, who also runs the account, they've been admitted to a hospital. They are currently alive as far as I'm aware. The impetus of this does seem to be caused by a lot of generalized harassment, and it must be said, it doesn't matter what you think of any of the people involved in all of this, outright harassing people is never called for. Even if you believe the worst of ILoveKPaLot or Brony Fandont or the Accuser, or even Saberspark, just flaming them with death threats on Twitter is not productive at best and detrimental to anything you're trying to do. Do not fucking harass people. I have my own criticisms of everyone involved, but do not fucking harass them. I have seen Saberspark's response to the whole thing. In my personal opinion, it's not a very good response video. He does address the biggest allegation, but only barely. In my personal opinion, it looked to be the first step in setting up a defamation lawsuit towards ILoveKPaLot and Brony Fandont more than anything else. I don't know if Saberspark could win a lawsuit, but in the United States, generally speaking, the phrase is you could sue anyone for anything. I personally believe he will at least try, but we'll have to wait and see in that front. I have also noticed that Saberspark mentioned Black Griffin in the video. The Accuser is, at very least, a real person. This is not an allegation that KP or Brony Fandont conjured up from thin air. It comes from a human being that is not KP or Brony. They are a real existing person, and I have spoken with them personally, voice call and all. They do exist. I bring this up because a lot of people seem to believe they simply don't. I know exactly who the Accuser is. I will not reveal them to the public without their express consent. Speaking of which, I have seen the Google Doc. My only comment on this is that, to my knowledge, no one on the investigation team had anything to do with it. I do not believe that KP or anyone else assisting her wrote it either. I will have to address the long Twitter thread that Brony Fandont released yesterday. Due to the circumstances, I'd really rather not, but I don't want misinformation to spread. I tried to contact them on Discord as I noticed it, and Phineas has tried to contact them on Twitter, but at present, neither has gotten back to us. At this point, for what should be seen as obvious reasons. The thread is mistaken about many things. For some reason, Bonk believes that Lazy Bedhead is making the video. She's not. I am, and we've made this clear to the Accuser repeatedly. It was literally one of the first things that I told to the Accuser, and it was said again to the Accuser on the night of the 12th, so I'm not aware how that miscommunication happened. The only theory is that in the KP message, she mentions Lazy and not me. From my understanding, you shared a Dropbox file with Lazy and Lazy. We did do a background check on the Accuser when we discovered who they were. There were two talks with the Accuser directly, one with Lazy Bedhead alone, and one with myself, Phineas, and Lazy Bedhead on the night of the 12th. Being described as having the allegations thrown in their face is simply wrong. We talked about them. We got the Accuser's side of the story. They were able to provide receipts, and while many of them still do need to be verified, they were at least amicable to discussion. We talked about many things, including Saberspark's response video. Yesterday at night, the Accuser did at least message us when we checked in on them. I have no comment at this time on KP's voice message to the Accuser. I will only state that we also received this message from the Accuser during our call, and have confirmed the Accuser did not want the message released publicly. Yes, I have seen Casey Fish's message to Rachel, ILoveKPaLot. I will comment on it in the video. Yes, I have seen the full unedited call between Chris and ILoveKPaLot that sparked this whole entire thing. I will also comment on that in the video. Once again, do not fucking harass anyone. Brony Fandont and ILoveKPaLot didn't vet a story/Accuser. There is no reason to issue them death threats, even if you believe that Saberspark is innocent, especially before the dust has settled. A lot of people harass the Accuser's Twitter burner account. This is also a fucked up thing to do, even if you think they are making it up. Until that dust settles, and even afterwards possibly, there's always a chance that they could be telling the truth. I do not believe harassing Saberspark is the correct course of action either. If you believe the worst of him, the correct course of action is justified criticism and walking away from his content, not to death threats, cyberstalking, etc. This investigation is taking longer than anticipated for various reasons. I do not want to make any mistakes with my final judgment in the final video. Because I need to eat, I will be doing my usual work on the side, and I would not expect this investigation video to be the next one that I do at any rate. GameCat replies, with all due respect, there wasn't much for Saber to address in his video. The accusation lacks any publicly available evidence. Maybe you've seen it, but the rest of us haven't. As such, the only response he needs to give is, it's not true. No more, no less. Willie says in her members only Discord, this guy is clearly not mentally capable of bringing forward serious allegations when he immediately S-baits, cries harassment, and shifts blames to others like KP when people bring forth reasonable criticism that would knock the validity of these claims. While KP did do a horrible job at bringing forth the allegations, this guy is at this point worse, because at least KP took her video down when people called her out. Fandont has lost credibility because of his schizophrenic reaction to criticism and is now failing to S-bait. Absolutely pathetic. Now I'm sure there's a bunch more updates that are going to come out about this whole Brony Fandont story. I doubt this is going to be the last we hear from them, especially if the victim themselves is going to reveal their identity. So subscribe below with notifications on so you don't miss any future updates. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko and Salsad. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.